Hello, hello. Thank you and welcome to Defining Life Path. My name is Cynthia R. Meeks and I am a life path strategist. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Antonio. My name is, I'm a life path strategist, also a metaphysical spiritual teacher. And I am, hold on, guys, I'm trying to get this watch party going. So tonight I am bringing you a subject. Hey, Tammy. Tonight I am bringing you the subject about why we have to meet certain people in our lifetime. Why do we have to meet certain people in our lifetime? And I know often we always say, if I just wouldn't have bumped into this person, then I'd be fine. If I would not have, if my life would be just perfect. If I would just have my kids without this person, I'd be, I would have been doing good. And there are reasons why we always, hey, everybody who's doing the watch party on my personal channel, I can't speak to both of you guys, but so I'm going to speak directly on Defining Life Path. So, hey, Sonia, and awesome topic. Thank you, Tammy. Okay, so why we have to meet certain people in our lifetimes. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why. Why 5 reasons why we think that we marry the wrong people, or we fall in love with the wrong people, or we argue with the wrong people, like at your job, like you bump into the wrong people, you just don't gel with these people. What is another situation? Hey, Angela. Another situation is why these people in your family, why you don't get along, why your father left you. All these reasons that I'm going to give you are perfect example as to why we have to meet certain people in our lifetime. Okay, so let's kick it off since we got a group of people here ready. The first reason why is to awaken you. We all sometimes get kind of stuck in a certain place, and we need someone to get us unstuck and kind of, awaken us, especially if we're stuck in the wrong pocket. You have certain people who are being misled by something, or a particular organization, or a particular religion, not all religions, just certain religions, or just a place in your life where you just stuck, even if it's like at a job, and or even if you have never fallen in love. Oh my goodness. If you're one of those people who have just never, just don't give your heart away, and you've never fallen in love, then you have people who actually come, believe it or not, you have people to come into your life and awaken you from this life of non-emotional, that person that's never experienced love. And then you, of course, you get hurt because it does not go the way you planned, but that person was supposed to come into your life, and this is just an example, and teach you what love feels like, teach you to get connected to your heart. And I know people like this, including myself, you wonder, like, why all of a sudden why this person, have to come into my life and all this stuff happened? Well, it's mainly because you were walking around thinking that you can protect your heart, you can guard your heart, and life is just, it's just perfect because you have not given your heart, you have not been hurt, you don't know what that feels like. Well, God will send people to you, and that's just an example of how someone can come into your life to awaken you. And it pretty much just have to do, that will make your body and your mind advance to the next level. It's all have to do, when you awaken, it's your body and your mind advancing to the next level. Again, like I say, falling in love, or if you, even in these days and times where people need to get connected to God, the inner God, not the God in heaven, but the inner God. And you believe it or not, some people are still walking around praising the God in the sky and don't even realize that God is within, God's spirit is within all of us. And so, hey, Nicole, and so that's one good reason how someone can walk into your life. And it could be another religion, it could be, introducing you to something else, but just broaden your horizon. because sometimes we could just walk around and we just kind of dumbfounded. And I don't want to use the word dumbfounded, but you just closed-minded. How about that? Closed-minded. And you thinking in one direction, and life has many directions, as we all know. And so again, that person comes into your life to awaken you and give you another point of direction to look at. And that may not necessarily mean that's the way you're supposed to go, but at least it's opening your channels up to receive more information. It's kind of giving you an opportunity to ask questions. Start asking questions, because if you're one of the ones that walk around and you're afraid to ask the question because you just might get the answer, then someone will come into your life that will force you to ask questions, and believe it or not, everybody that we meet that come into our lives, whether it's a coworker, whether it's the person at the grocery store, whether it's a homeless person that you gave money to, everybody who comes into your life, you have, and I know this is going to trip out a bunch of people, but you have already signed a soul contract with these people, meaning in heaven. Okay. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to awaken you. I'm here to bring you information that you've never thought about, that you've never even asked the questions about, or you've never even had that opportunity to find this information or be open to this information. But when you're in heaven, we all sign soul contracts with thousands of people that are going to come into our life, that is going to challenge us. Well, I'm stepping ahead of myself. Well, we sign soul contracts with people that are going to come into our lives and be there for a reason. Okay, so just know that everybody that you have met or are going to meet in your lifetime is there for a reason. And once you understand this, it's much easier to know how to approach the situation. So if someone come into your life and say, for instance, you just cannot get along with this person. I don't know, they just, I can't stand, they just this, they that. And it doesn't even matter what color they are, okay? We can always pull the race card, but I'm telling you, it's a reason why they're in your life, okay? And we have to understand, once we understand spirituality, then we can understand about compassion, about understanding, about love, this other person, because know that they are in your life for a reason. And then I'm gonna come back to that, but I'm gonna come back to the soul contract because I don't want to give away everything else. But number 2, so first is to awaken you on a certain subject or something that you need to know. They are there to awaken you and kind of broaden your horizons on a certain path. Number 2, they are there to remind you of your goal, okay? And as you know, we all have if you listen to my lives before, we all have, yes, that's right, Angela. So we all have a life purpose, okay? We all have a life purpose. And oftentimes when you are born into a certain family, okay, you are born into this role that you play into this lifetime because you have these parents, because you're born in a certain society or this environment, or you're born to a certain religion. Well, at some point, you have to break away from the conditions, the programs of that environment, and you have to step into your own, okay? And so when you step into your own, you will still have confliction about, well, my mom is this religion, but I really want to do this, or they want me to go to school for this, but I really truly feel like this is what my calling. Well, that's when a person will come into your life to remind you of your goal, of your life purpose that you chose while you were in heaven. Again, it all goes back to when you chose the shell. When you chose the shell and you chose this life and you chose to reincarnate or incarnate into this lifetime, there is a whole, how can I say this? There's a whole book already written about you, okay? There's a date of birth. There's the name. There are the parents that attach to this shell. There's the end date. And I don't like to use the word death because you never really die. So there's the end date of that lifetime. So when you step into that shell, you already have these soul contracts, these people who are going to come to you, who's going to challenge you, who's going to bring opportunities to you. There are people who are set up already for you to experience this lifetime. And so when you come into this world and you already have this life purpose, this purpose that you are supposed to use to give back to this earth, to this planet, we sometimes forget. We all forget because we are conditioned, and that's just life. So you come into this life and you're conditioned, you're programmed a certain way, well, then eventually you're supposed to break away from that program and find the true authentic self. Find your true authentic self, because we all have the calling inside of us. And when you're walking around and you're unhappy about how you're feeling, how things are going in your life, you're wondering, why am I feeling like this? This is not what I want to do. I want to do something else. You're upset with everybody. You're blaming other people. You're just an unhappy person because you're not living the life that you were born to live. You're not living out your life purpose. So you have someone that's going to step into your life and is going to remind you of your goal, remind you of your purpose as to why you are here. Okay? That's happened to me so many times in this lifetime. People have, said, oh, you are so powerful. Oh, people are going to listen to you. Oh, you can do this. And then I block it out. I'm like, no, that's not me. That's not who I am. That's not for me. And then I go on my own little path, and then I wind back up right where I should be, which is right here, which I should have been here all along. But my way of getting here and having a platform to speak to people was pushing my children. I started with my oldest son, who's 21 years old now. And I started with him. And, he was at the age of 10, I'm like, you're going to have your own travel show. You're going to be in front of the camera, and you're going to go to these different places. And we got a chance to go to a lot of places like SeaWorld, the Rossford Romans, and we just went a lot of places. They let us in because we had this platform that he was going to be called the J-Hub Travel Show at 10 years old. Well, believe it or not, that was not his calling. That was something that he did not want to do. And he let me know for sure, Mom, you know what? You are stressing out about this. This is supposed to be fun. This is something I don't want to do. This. So, you do it. Or I'm like, I'm not supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this, because I was looking at the whole, what are the tennis players' names? Serena and Venus. And I'm like, their dad pushed them. They never even wanted to do tennis. And their dad pushed them in this way to do tennis. So I'm like, maybe if I just, push you and get you set up and ready, then this is what you can do. You can have this platform, be the first African American kid who have his own travel show at 10 years old. Well, that didn't last at all. Okay, and then 10 years later, I had my second son, and then here I go, Side Clubhouse. You can have your own YouTube channel, and he did for a while until he was just like, I don't want to do this no more. So I ran out of kids, but the feeling was still in me to do. Talk to people. It was still in me, and to go out there and be, at the time I didn't know I want to do spiritual talking, but when I became a spiritual teacher, when I started going to metaphysics school, then I realized this is home for me. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I met people, and believe it or not, after I wrote the book, Numbers, Angels, and God, I had someone to contact me after she read the book. My editor let her read the book, and she worked at a metaphysical school, which is University of Sedona. And she said, you sound like you are already in this arena of spiritual teaching. Have you ever thought about going to metaphysical school and getting a PhD in metaphysics? And I'm like, no, but what is it? Sounds pretty cool. And as I got in it and I started to attend, and I thought, you know what, this is something I truly love. I know this stuff already. I know what it takes to manifest things in your life. I know what it takes to forgive people easily. I know what it takes to have unconditional love for people that you don't even know, or people who you don't even get along with. And I said, this is what I want to do. And it took me a long time to even get here and get comfortable with. And even now I get nervous about, getting on here and just talking freely. When you're doing YouTube videos, of course, it's different. But when you're able to look into this computer and just talk, and you're not able to get feedback from a person, it's different. But once I started doing this and I started to get comfortable, I'm like, this is where I should have been all along, instead of trying to push my children, forcing them to do something that they didn't want to do, that was my calling. And so that is number 2. When you get into a situation and you find people come into your life to remind you of your goal, and even if you have not even discovered that goal, I ask a lot of people all the time, what do you like to do? What do you want to do? They're unhappy at their jobs. And as a life path strategist, we try to get to the understanding of what is it that you truly want to do. And oftentimes they say, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, let's go back to your childhood. What did you want to do in your childhood? What was something that just really excited you in your childhood? And they still, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. And that's mainly because you have been programmed and you've been conditioned for so long that you truly have buried your purpose. It's just dormant there. And so until you find that person that can walk into your life and remind you of your goal, of your life purpose, at that moment, you will know what your calling is and what you are here to do. I promise you. And if you have not gotten to that point yet, just keep searching, just keep remembering. And the best thing to do is get a session with me, an hour for $75, of course. DM me if you want a session. If you don't know your life purpose, we'll get down to it. And how I help you find your life purpose is truly with your date of birth and your name. Okay, it's just that simple. It's using your date of birth and your name. I will find the energies that's within you, because your energies lead to especially your name. Your name leads directly to your destiny, to your life purpose. Okay, your name or even your life path can lead at that moment. You would know the characteristics that are hidden within. Okay, because so many times we have all these characteristics and these talents, and we've never used them. We never have used them. We have a feeling, I kind of like to cook, but I don't really do it professionally. I just cook for myself, or I cook for my family. But you are really a truly good cook, and you just have never had anybody to expose that to you, or to come over there. You've never really shared that with someone to taste your food and to see how much of a great cook you are. And it could be your life purpose, cooking for people, or coming up with some really good recipes. It's there, I promise you. And if you are a person who are at your job and you're tired of what you're doing, you're unhappy about what you're doing, then you have not awakened the calling for your life purpose. I promise you. And all you have to do is ask the question to the universe. It's just that simple. You ask the question to the universe, what is it that I'm here to do? What is my life purpose? What is my destiny? What am I supposed to do before I leave this earth? And I promise you, someone will walk into your life and they will remind you of what it is you're supposed to do. God never fails. All you have to do is ask the question. Okay, so number three, and I already said it, but number 3, the reason why people come into your life that pisses you off, that challenge you, is because you need to learn how to control the what? Somebody say it for me. The ego. That's right, the ego. We have so many people who are out of control with their ego, and there are people who come into our life to challenge us, and we get a lot of challenges, don't we? A lot of times it's the coworkers. A lot of times it's people who are in the stores. A lot of times it's just the people who are walking around, the people who are on TV. They challenge us every day and they piss us off. But guess what? You have to learn how to have compassion for people and understanding. And those are the people who will make you better. They will make you a better person. I promise you. Even though you have been challenged, even though you have been fired, even though people are not treating you as you feel a certain way, everybody is not going to treat you the same. You have to be balanced. It's the yin and the yang. It's the good and the bad, which there is no good and bad. But somebody's going to have to step into your life to challenge you and teach you. Otherwise, how do you know that you can be a better person? How do you know that you can change, that you have evolved into this new person, to this new being, that you have matured? And it's all because that person is there to challenge you. Okay? I promise you, it's all because, thank you for joining us, Frank. It's all because someone is there to challenge you. Okay, so again, let's start with number one, awaken you. That's number one. Number one reason why someone come into your life, to awaken you. Number two, to remind you of your goal. And number three, they come into your life to challenge you. Okay, so quickly, let's move to number four. If anybody have any questions or they want in the comments, just drop them in there and I'll read them as because we're moving pretty fast. We may get out there before an hour tonight. Okay, so number four. I like number four. So people come into your life to hold space, okay? Have you just known people come into your life, and they can come into your life very quickly, just to hold space, meaning they are coming to your life and it's like, I don't even know why they're here. Like, they were just here wasting my time. All this time, and they didn't really want nothing, just wasted my time. And that's why people come into your life, just to waste your time. They need to hold that space, because guess what? Maybe something is up the road and you don't know about it. And if they don't stop you, you're going to walk right into it. If they don't, and it could be just for 1 second, they could drop some keys in front of you and have to stop you for just a second to pick those keys up. Or you'll get a phone call and it will keep you from getting in the car and leaving at that certain time. And I know we all have experienced this. As soon as we drive around the corner, there's that car accident. But we waited at our house for just a second because we had to do one more thing. We had to answer the phone, or we had to go to the bathroom, or you know, your child stopped you. Hey, Corey, or your child stopped you, you know, from leaving. Something kept you from leaving. Normally, sometimes it is a phone call, but there's a reason why that happened. People quickly come into your life just to hold you, just to keep you, just to take your time up for just that moment, to prevent you from walking into something or someone harming you. Okay, so just know there aren't any coincidences. Let me just say that there are no coincidences. There are no coincidence why as soon as you got ready to leave, the phone rang, or something happened, or you dropped something on your clothes and now you got to change clothes real quickly, and then you upset and you mad, you just, oh, I'm trying to get out of here and I just can't get out of here. And then as soon as you go around the corner, here this huge explosion or a car accident, or you know, somebody robbed somebody. I mean, it always happened like that, but it was just not meant for you to be involved in that. And if something didn't stop you for just that moment, or that person didn't call, or that incident didn't happen, or someone didn't, you know, you even have those people who jump in front of you when you're trying to rush. Well, these people, God moved these people over in front of you, cut you off just so you wouldn't be able to drive so fast and end up hitting something. So just appreciate, just understand that even those quick people come into our life just to hold space. And once you get this understanding, even tomorrow when something happened, you're like, oh, okay, Cynthia just reminded me that this person is here just for only a second. Okay, I'm gonna get the lesson. And if you don't understand why that person came into your life, just ask, why is this person in my life? What's the lesson that I'm supposed to get from this? What is the lesson? Why did they steal from me? Why did they wrong me? Why did they lie on me? It's always a lesson to everything. I promise you, there's always a lesson in everybody who we meet, that we feel that they have done us wrong, or there is something that they are doing that is not aligned with us. It has something to do with us. Anybody that we meet, we are inviting them in, okay? We are inviting them in, and we have these soul contracts with them already that we made. Now, you know how some people say, I meet the same woman, the same type of woman all the time. I want to meet somebody different. Or I meet the same kind of man all the time. Every time I run to a man, it's the same kind of man or woman. And the reason being is you have not gotten the lesson from the last person you met. There is still a lesson involved, and you are challenged to find out what the lesson is. You have to ask the questions, and you have to find out the reason why. And then once you find the reason why, it will all be forgiven, and you can move to the next level. And you'll be able to move to the next level. I promise you, there is a reason why. And I do the same thing. Like, why did I meet her? Like, why, when I was working at the time, my supervisor, she was an older woman, and she used to just say certain things to me. Cynthia, you think you're right about everything. You're not right about everything. You need to learn how to just, take a few seconds before you just respond to everything. And she was right. Angela, okay, I asked myself about everybody. Yeah, that's right. And most people don't. Most people still walk around and get attitudes about certain people who are in their lives, whether they are especially coworkers. It's, that's a big thing that we get into with people at our jobs. And it don't even matter like what race they are, but or what background they are. We get into it with people all the time, but these people are there for a reason, guys. I'm telling you, just get the damn lesson, and get the lesson and then get out, okay? Get the lesson so you don't have to bump into them again, and you don't have to keep repeating the lesson, because if you don't get the lesson, there are substitutes, okay? There are substitutes that's going to keep coming in and substitute out that person for another one. They're going to substitute that because you didn't get the lesson from them. You change your job, and now you got the same things all over again. Another substitute. Until you get the lesson, you will continue to get substitute. And that's for people who you date, work with, or have to interact, and even family members for that matter. You can't get rid of your family members, but you could surely learn a lesson, and then you can, kind of squash the beef or whatever that has been going on, or not even be around them. Just, what, I got it. I got what the lesson is. I forgive them. I don't have to be around them. But I have nothing but love and compassion and blessing, and send them on their way. Point blank. No hard feelings, no jealousy, no hatred, no anger, none of those emotions that won't serve you, okay? That's what we need to understand. These negative emotions that we think that we have for other people, they don't do anything but hey, Teresa, they don't do anything but hurt us. They don't hurt the other person. It changes our destiny, because it's the lesson for us. And it's also could be the lesson for them as well. But the thing is, I'm working on you, okay? I don't know about them. I want to work on you. You get the lesson and find out the reason why they are in your life, why they're causing this havoc in your life. And once you understand what the lesson is, my motto is either love them, bless them, or heal them. Whatever one of those three you need to do, and send them on their way, and say, I got the lesson, but don't absorb any of the emotions. Don't reflect any of the energy that they're sending you. Okay? Don't absorb any of the energy, and surely don't harvest these emotions these negative emotions because of the situation. That's what I don't want you to do, because I promise you that stuff will change your destiny and will add karma, because you didn't get the lesson. And that was only the part of it all was for you to be challenged, for you to have this opportunity to help and elevate yourself and better yourself, okay? Because if you don't get the lesson and you get into it and then the substitute comes in, they're going to substitute out for the same type of person, and you steady getting into it and you steady not releasing any of this stuff, and you keep getting it and you still not understanding, but you want to be the victim. And that's a lot of times we get that we want to play this victim when there is no such thing as the victim, by the way. You know, you got so many people who don't even realize what that means. And for me, I know, because I get phone calls all the time. You remember how that happened to you? Well, that's how they did me. No, it's not. That's not the same. It's not the same. And stop playing the victim, because it don't work for you. And it didn't work for me. It don't work for you. It don't work for no one. There's a lesson to it. Get the lesson. Don't harvest the negative emotions, and better yourself, elevate yourself, and move on. Simple as that. Okay. Number five. Okay. And we are working so good on this time. We're not going to even hit an hour tonight, I promise. Number 5, soulmates. So the reason why these people we meet in our lives are our soulmates. And I don't mean like a soulmate of love. I mean a soulmate who you have met in another lifetime, and now you have reconnected to this soul in this lifetime. And so for instance, if you've met this person another lifetime, and then you meet them in this lifetime, and it's like, oh, well, hey, it's like, I just met her, but we've been knowing each other. It seems like we've been knowing each other for years. I mean, we just connected. We vibe together. Our conversations are the same. We like the same things. And it's like we were best friends from day one. Those are like soulmates. You've met them in another lifetime, and you've connected to those people here, and it just helped you feel good about life and help you, have that special bond with someone. And again, it could be a soulmate of love that you have met in another lifetime, and now you're here to reconnect and have love all over again. Maybe you didn't get to finish it in a lifetime. Well, maybe that soulmate was your father, your mother, a relative, or someone who maybe have wronged you. It could be any of those situations where you come in this lifetime as husband or wife, or a boyfriend or girlfriend, or partner, and to meet, and you have this connection that just keep drawing you to this person. And you're like, this is my soulmate. It's like, I loved him from the first moment I met him or her. And we just connected, and we have not been alone. We have not been separate since since we've met. And that's like a soulmate, and I know that these people, because I have friends who I've never even seen, you guys. I have a friend in the UK, and I'm sure she's going to be watching this later on, but I have people in the UK, a friend in the UK, and we connected I saw her on YouTube, and she does numerology. She does a lot of stuff, but numerology, she does that as well. And I connected with her on Instagram, and we talked on the phone so many times. And I feel like she's like one of my best friends. Never met her before. We both have boys. We both are in our 40s. She's a little bit, I'm 45. I think she's a little bit younger than I am. But we both in our 40s. We have both boys. We both are not with our mate, and we both like the same. We both are spiritual. We like the same things. And it just feels right for her and I to be like really good friends. And when I'm going through something, I call her up and I'm like, hey, check this out. And we'll laugh and we'll talk, and she just keep, motivating me and pushing me. And when she was ill, I did the same thing to her. I sent her healing white balls to her so she can heal. And it was, it's like we're best friends and we've never seen each other. And that's how it could be for anybody who you have this soul connection. We could have known each other in another lifetime. I have another friend who I've never met before, and I met her in a group. And she's in, I want to say, Maryland, I believe she lives in Maryland. But we talk every single day, because when you find like-minded people who do what you do and you can understand you, and then they don't judge you for what you're doing. It feels good, or judge you for anything, or your past. It feels really good, and again, we probably have known each other in another lifetime, and we just met each other in this lifetime, and we just connected. I mean, I have people right here that I can't even connect to. Now, I won't say I can't connect to, but I just don't, because I'm not a person who meet friends well, I'm not a woman's woman. Let me just say that. I don't have a lot of friends because a lot of times people don't understand me, and they don't understand how I could be so passionate about something. And, I take big life risks, and they're not a risk taker. And, and it's hard to try to explain yourself to someone who just don't get it. And I feel like I'm 45 now, and I just don't have to, I don't have to hang out with people like that anymore in my lifetime. But I have friends now. They don't live here with me, and that's probably a good thing, because I probably wouldn't have time for them. But, a phone call here and there is really good. I have another friend I hope she's still on here, Jackie, who I met. She came here for an event that we are both in this organization, and I met her, and we talked and kept in touch all along. So again, soulmate people, and when they're your soulmate, when they're your soulmate friends or your soulmate lovers, because it just feels good to talk to and meet these people, and you just want them in your life. And it does not have to be from a childhood. It could just be someone you could just meet in your older age, and you can come in contact with them and you can meet them. So again, 5 reasons why we meet people in our lives. 1, to awaken us. 2, to remind us of our goal, our life purpose. 3, to teach us, challenge us, to piss us off. 4, to hold space for us. And 5, to be our soul mates, to come into our life and just really connect with them, and somebody we can truly call on anytime we need something, that won't stab us in their backs, that will just truly be there. Like a Gail and Oprah kind of thing. That's what I'm talking. And I'm sure that they are truly soulmates, and they've known each other another lifetime, and they kind of hooked up here. But people like that you can just laugh with, and if you're mad, you won't stay mad for long, and they won't try to stab you in your back. They won't try to, misuse your name or lie on you or anything like that. Those are the type of people who you need in your life. Won't be jealous of you. Those are the type of people who you need in your life. Won't judge you. So is there any questions, any comments? If not, we're going to wrap this up. Again, 5 reasons why we meet people. And I hope I gave you guys enough understanding as to why we meet people in our lifetime. And it could be a husband. It could be, like I say, a coworker. It could be someone that we just talk to on the bus every day. It could be the bus driver. It could be anybody that come into our life that we don't even know why they're there. We just I just talk to him every day. I don't even know why I talk to him. He's the security guard at my job. I just stop and talk to him every day. And I've been like that a lot of times because I can easily talk to men for some reason. But every job I've ever had, I'm always talking or really nice or really friendly with the security guard. For what? The security guard, the UPS man, the FedEx man, it doesn't matter. For whatever reason, I always meet them, and we always have a really good vibe. But I always learn something too. I truly, because, half the time they're not trying to talk to me is the situation, and I always learn something from that and move on, So it feels really good now to know, when I learned all this stuff, to know why these people have come into our life, or my life, and yours. If hopefully this all resonates with you, and give you this understanding. And the next time that someone pisses you off, or if they already are pissing you off at your place of work or your gym or wherever you go, then just know that they're there for a reason. Nothing happens, nothing is coincidental, okay? They're there for a reason, and just try to figure it out. I know Susie can work the hell out of my damn nerves. She lies, she this, she that. What is the main lesson in this? What is the main lesson so I can get it? And I don't have to educate her, because once I get it, then the tension won't be there, because two people can't go at it. I mean, one person can't go at it by themselves. They need interaction. And so if that other person stop, then they will stop. So just ask yourself that question when you, even if you have someone in your life right now, whether it's a spouse or whether it's a friend, a neighbor or a coworker. Hopefully y'all can give me some more examples of people. You see, I don't get out much. Your son's teacher, somebody, or even if you're in school, your teacher, why do you get this friction from these people, or why they are interacting with you like that? I have a male friend that I swear he's my earth angel. Oh, that's so sweet. So why they are in your life like that, and even the sweetest people that are in your life. It's so funny because when I bought my house, I right before I bought my house, I didn't know what city in the Dallas area I was going to buy my house in. And I was, as you know, that my story, if you guys know my story, and after I was living in a B&B, we was waiting on our house to find a house, living in the Airbnb, living in B&B, living with my friend. And then I just so happened to go to this one gas station, and I ran into this guy who I have not seen. Let me tell you this, my oldest son is 21. I didn't have any kids when him and I knew each other. We were just friends. He dated a classmate of mine. Well, I ran into him, and he lived in the neighborhood. I didn't have a house in this neighborhood. I was just staying with someone at that time in this neighborhood, and ran into him. And when I bought my house, it was just so happened to be in the same neighborhood, which is coincidental, okay? But the same neighborhood. And guess what? Every time I have a situation, I call him up. I'm like, can you come help me? You know, my son blew out 2 tires of my brand new truck. He blew out 2 tires of my brand new truck. The roadside assistance man only could do one with the replacement, or the, what do you call it? The spare. Can you come help me? He was like, yeah, sure. I'm come pick you up and come. I mean, he's always, when Mona moved up here with me, my sister moved in with me, he was there to help unload the truck. I mean, he did it all. There was no help. He did it all. But we would never be a couple, but we are just really good friends. It's like we picked up after 22 years. I haven't seen this man in 23 years. 23 years. I met him when I first moved to Dallas, and we hung out for like a couple of years. And we just, I don't know what happened, but we lost contact. And 23 years, I met up with him again, and just so happened, I moved in the same neighborhood, bought a house in the same neighborhood, and he lived here, and I was able to call on him anytime. I mean, and he's been there for me, and you know, and that's how, there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence, people. I'm telling you, there's no coincidence. So when you need to have someone in your life, God will make sure that they bring that person into your life. Now, if you want a mate, okay, you want somebody in your life like a husband or a wife, then, and you keep getting these people who you don't want in your life, then just, there's a reason why. Just ask the question so they can be gone, and you can clear that, and you can elevate to the next level, and then you can meet that special person in your life that you need to be with, that's waiting for you, that's there for you. Because I believe we all have a chance to have a mate and be happy and in love, loving ourselves, and then being in love, of course. But again, he is a really good person, and he is in my life, and he came back in me the same way he left out of my life, helping me when I first moved here. When we met, I met him in my apartment, and it was so funny. I dated his friend, he dated my classmate, but he, and we're the same way. We joke and we laugh, even in our 40s now. I mean, we were in our 20s then, and we joke and we laugh. It's the same way. The only difference is I have children now, and a lot of the jokes is not really funny to me anymore, but the same way we were 23 years ago is the same way we are today. And again, I met him, didn't even know I was going to move into this neighborhood. I'm so glad that we exchanged numbers. And I met him at a gas station, standing in line. I'm like, I know you, don't I? I know you. He was like, yeah, I know you too. And now anytime I need something, because, you know, when you buy a house and you're not married and you have children, it's like you're going to always need somebody who just step in and help you. And you don't always want to call on your ex, because, you know, you don't want to bring that back into your life. So you want to be able to get someone who is a neutral party that can help you. And I'm so glad that I have him, that God brought him back into my life, and he's able to be here, and I can call on him when I need him. And just know it will work just like that for you. When you need someone to step in and be there for you, you know, just ask for it. You know, God, I know I got these people who I signed these soul contracts with. Okay, you got to sound like, look like you're educated, like you know what you're talking about. I know I've signed some soul contracts with some people, God, that's going to some good people. I know you keep bringing all these duds in my life, but I know I've signed some soul contracts with some good people. So when are they going to show up? When are they going to come on in my life and be here for me? Because I need them right now. I need them to show I've learned some lessons, and if I still have some lessons to learn, you know, God, help me with that. But if the good people are out there that I'm supposed to meet, can we rush it along and bring them on into my life so I can meet them and they can be there for me, friends, whomever. But just know, if you understand this, the reason why these people come into your life, then you will understand how to save yourself from additional karma. Okay? Because if you miss the lesson, you're going to continue to get substitutes that's going to be there to teach you this lesson. And not only you're going to continue to get substitutes, but you're going to continue to add karma, because whoever comes into your life, you're going to have resentment for that person one way or the other, whether it's a mate or somebody else that you don't like. You having friction. You're going to keep getting those type of substitutes. You're going to keep inviting them because you haven't learned the lesson. And then you're going to add karma because it's going to do something to you inside. You're going to change your energy, and you're going to your vibrational energy. You're going to radiate out to them, and you guys are going to be using this reflection energy back and forth at each other, and you're never going to get it. And all that does is just add more karma, present karma, to your destiny. Okay, so to keep from changing your destiny every single day, get the damn lesson and be able to move forward. A lot of our community, because that seems like the only ones on here listening to me. So a lot of our community are stuck. We are so stuck. We're unhappy. We don't have the person in our life who we want to love. We don't have anybody in our life. So we're stuck. And maybe if we can just awaken ourselves and ask questions. A lot of times the reason why we don't get what we want, we're not manifesting things in our lives, is because we are not asking questions. We have been programmed to not question God. And you're not even questioning God, you're just questioning your next move. You're questioning your next route to go. That's what you're questioning. And if it's questioning God, then question God. Get an answer. Get that next person in your life that's going to be in your life. Allow them to show up, and that's how they can come on and quickly show up. And you let them know, I learned this lesson. Now I'm ready. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to get the next one. I'm ready to understand. Okay. So again, if you're just tuning in, the 5 reasons why we meet certain people in our lifetime are to awaken us, to remind us of our purpose and our goal, to teach us, challenge us this lesson, also to hold space for us. And then number 5, to be our soulmates, to be that person that can be in our lives that that won't hurt you, that will be there for you, that can give you that unconditional love. And I'm not talking about just a soulmate of like a lover, but I'm talking about even a friend soulmate, a best friend soulmate, even a male or female, or two females or 2 male best friends, but soulmate kind of friends. Soul brother, soul sister, the people that you call your sister, even though they're not your true family member, but they just feel like they should be there. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. My name is Cynthia R. Meeks. This is Defining Life Path. I'm a life path strategist as well as a metaphysical spiritual teacher. I also include all of my platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please follow me on YouTube so you can get more of this good stuff. What else? If you want a session, if you have some things in your life and you want to know why you're going through these things, why, what year, personal year you in, I use your date of birth, your name, to talk about and let you know about the characteristics and the energies that you were born with. A lot of times, again, we don't know what we're supposed to do because we don't know the power that we have within. We don't know our actual true talents that we were born with. And that's what I talk to people about. I am self-taught numerologist, but I don't use my numerology. I'm not an advocate for numerology. I am an advocate for energy and energy only. And I use energy and talk to you about your energy within and how it can help you move forward in your life if you're stuck, if you're having issues, if you're having problems with your children, if you want to know their life purpose, if you want to know your life purpose, if you want to know what personal year you're in. The reason why we go through things in our lives and we get these vision boards and we put these vision boards up and we got all this stuff we want to plan for this year and it doesn't happen is because your personal year is not in tune with this vision board. So if you know what personal year you're in, because there's always a universal year, and the universal year right now, 2019, is a year 3, okay? And if you know what personal year you're in, it will help to understand why you're going through the things that you're going through, why you're feeling like you're feeling. If you are you've been putting out new jobs and you've been trying to change jobs and you just feel like you don't have the energy this year, well, you could be in your personal year too. And there's a reason why you don't have the energy and you're not feeling like you want to feel. And so I help you understand where you are in this lifetime, where you are in this time and space in your lifetime. I help you understand your energies within your children, because oftentimes we don't even know our children. We know they have these talents. We know they can do certain things. We know they have these certain gifts, but we don't even know how to put a name on it. And that's what I do. I help you put a name on what type of why they're acting out like they're acting out, why they're acting out, or why they're pulling away when they pull away. And it helps. And the reason why it helps you, because it keeps you from trying to program the way you've been programmed, program your children to be what they are not. It keeps you from adding more programs onto them, so they won't have a difficult time trying to figure out their life by the time they get 20 or 30 or 40. Sometimes it's even 40, sometimes it's 50. They've been so programmed, by the school system. You don't realize how much the school system program your children while they're not in your care, okay? Program them to go get jobs when they, should be entrepreneurs. Program them to want or look at view things a certain way when they should be viewing things a different way. And one thing about it, these kids that are born now, as you can see, so many kids, and I know you've seen social media, so many of these babies are talking at 4 months, at 3 months, talking, hi, I love you, and hi, and saying things that they should be saying months and months from now. And that's because kids are changing. God is tired. He is so tired of all of us programming kids, and it's taking them so long to do what they need to do, to live out this purpose. We have to understand we have a purpose for this lifetime, and we got to get it, and we got to utilize. You can go work at your job to maintain what you need to do, but you also got to find out why you're here. Because if you don't find out why you're here and you just keep ignoring the signs, the sign within, the signs from these people coming up to you, if you keep ignoring the signs, then you will forever keep getting these substitutes, and you will forever be unhappy. There's no reason why you should be walking around unhappy. If you're walking around unhappy, I promise you, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I promise you, the right people are not in your life. I promise you, you are ignoring the people who should be in your life. There's a reason why. There's no reason why we should be walking around unhappy. And if you are, that means that you are check yourself. Check yourself. Don't be the victim. There is no victim. That's an imagination that's made up. A victim is a person that is made up. I promise you, because everything that happen in our lifetime is predestined. Okay, and if somebody is wrongdoing you, maybe you had a past in your past life that you wronged them, and they showed up in this lifetime, and you just got to get it together. There's so many non-physical reasons why things happen to us all the time. Here I am at 55 minutes already. Okay, I might as well complete an hour. I don't have but 8 more seconds, 5 more minutes actually. But there's a reason why people show up in our life, okay? And you got to get this. There's reasons why people show up in our, and there's reasons why people don't show up in our lives, have not showed up in our lives yet, because we keep getting bombarded with these substitutes that keep coming and coming and coming, because we have not gotten a lesson. And I wish I can give you an example, but I don't want to put it out on the front street. But so many people say the same thing keep happening to them over and over again. Well, there's a reason. Like, why are you not getting it? Get it, please. Stop being victimized. Stop trying to use the victim card. There are no victims. Anything that happens, we invited, or anything happens is because of past karma. And once you get the lesson and you're able to move on and understand, there's a reason why they're in my life. I know there's a reason why that happened to me. I get it. I get it. I forgive them. And I'm not going to let that whole hostage in my head no longer. I'm not going to allow that to hold hostage. Whether it was my parents did me wrong, my sibling did me wrong, my coworker did me wrong, my family member did me wrong, my neighbor, no matter your spouse, it does not matter anymore. The past is the past. Get over it. Get over the past and move forward, because this is a lifetime that you must live. You cannot live in regrets, disappointment, depression, fear, especially fear. Everything leads back to fear. I don't care what it is. Everything leads back to fear. And you cannot live your life in fear and depression and anything else. It's not worth it. Whatever it is, get over it. Move forward. And I know depression is not something that we think that it's real. Okay, we think that depression, we think that this fear that we have drummed up in our heads is real. We feel like it's a normal thing to have, but it's not normal. It is not normal. That is not a normal emotion that you were born with. Hey, can you ever imagine any babies being born with fear? Babies being born with anger. Have you ever known a baby come out the womb just angry? They crying because they out of the water. They in this life. They here. They can't talk. That's an expression. Until they go through that little traumatic little experience, and then they're okay. Then they're smiling. But there are no babies born in depression. None. That's not a feeling. That's not an emotion that you are born with. So if you can just get back to your authentic self and know that these emotions are not real, then you can get rid of them. You can get rid of them. I promise you. Because if you don't have peace and love and compassion and joy and happiness and knowledge, and there's another one, it's like 7 that you are born with, then anything else outside of that, get rid of it. Find out what the root cause is, flip it over and make it positive, and then get rid of it. I have fear. What is my fear? My fear right now is that maybe I won't get enough clients to sustain my living that I'm used to now that I'm on my own. I won't get enough people to buy my books. I won't reach to that platform of success that I want to. That's my fear. Okay, Cynthia, that's your fear. Well, how about this? How about you give yourself some affirmations to say, bring some more clients in? How about you stop and know that when opportunities present themselves, then they will come to you? How about it's just not the time for you to have that level of success that you want? How about it's on its way? It's coming. You just got to get to that point. You're right. You're right, Cynthia. Now, fear does not look so powerful. That's how you can talk yourself out of certain things, certain feelings. How about anger? They piss me off so mad, I want to just get this pot and smash him in their head because you know what he did to me. You know what she did to me. Well, how about this? How about nobody can do anything to you unless you allow it? How about you had all the signs that this stuff was going on and was happening, and you just didn't get the lesson fast enough? How about, you know what? I'm not going to allow you to change who I am. And I'm not going to get upset with you. I'm going to let you deal with this narcissistic attitude that you have. How about that? There's always a way to look at a situation on a positive light. A positive light when you know, I'm sorry, y'all, I done went over an hour. When you know that that person, now that you know that these people are in your life for a reason, and that they still causing you any heartache, headache, havoc in your life, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Love them, heal them, bless them. The three things, you know my motto: love, heal, and bless, and move on. Life is long, okay? Life is long, but you can shorten it if you keep mess in your life and you don't get the lessons. You can shorten your life, but life is long. It's as long as it is supposed to be for you. Okay? That's my, that's it, guys. Okay? 5 reasons why we meet certain people in our lives: to awaken us, remind us of our goals, to challenge us, teach us, piss us off. What is the 5th? To hold space for us, and to be our soulmates, to give us that unconditional love, that we know that we are loved like we love ourselves, and we know that we always have somebody in our space that love us, even if it's your children or whomever. They always are going to be there for you. Well, not always, but you know what I mean, okay? I love you guys. Always remember to love, live, forgive. And if you think about anybody in your life and they're showing you havoc, just remember to love them, to bless them, and to, what's my 3rd one? Love, bless, and heal them if you know, because if they're giving you havoc, it's something wrong with them. They don't know who they are. They're dealing with some things on themselves. So you got to heal them, and you got to bless them, and you got to love them from afar, okay? That's how you do that. And that's how you stay sane. And that's how you keep moving, you keep elevating, and you keep manifesting, and you keep getting what you want until you are there. And you're like, you know what? Life is just so blissful right here. Life is so blissful. I know now, all these years, if I would have just got this information, I would have been here in this blissful place where God wants me to be, period. Good night, guys.